Hi everybody, welcome back. You know what? Everybody wants to be successful, but there are key things that people do and key mindsets that people have that make the difference between whether they are successful or unsuccessful in life and in business. So in this video, I want to share with you things that I found, 10 differences that I found between successful and unsuccessful people. So I've had a 20 plus year career as a creative leader in global agencies and global corporations. I've worked for billion-dollar brands, I've worked for startups. I've worked in incredibly matrix organizations, complex organizations, and I've worked in very simple organizations. I've managed large teams of creatives, and I've worked with a huge array of internal clients and external clients. I've seen people grow and succeed, and I've also seen people fail and stagnate in their careers and in their lives. How you act is just as important as how you react. So I wanted to share with you today 10 differences between successful and unsuccessful people. Now, number one is mindset. I have found that overarchingly, successful people have a general mindset of gratitude. They are grateful for whatever comes their way, whether it's success or whether it's challenges. They look at challenges as a way to learn. They look at success as an opportunity and something that is a gift and something they're given and something they can give away. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to think about themselves. They have a tendency to have a mindset of entitlement. They think about what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? How is this going to affect me? A sense of that they are owed something rather than gratitude of all of the things that come their way. So think about your mindset and try to have a mindset of gratitude. Number two is planning. I have found overarchingly that successful people take time out of their day and out of their year to take stock of themselves and what they're doing in their lives and in their business, and to set goals for themselves and set steps in order to achieve those goals. They establish a sense of planning around what they do. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to kind of wing it. They have a tendency to fly by the seat of their pants a little bit more. And they don't take that precious, important time to take stock of what they're doing and set plans in place to get to the places that they want to be. Number three is around information. I found that successful people embrace the importance of information, and they approach life and approach business in a sense of continuous learning. They are lifelong learners, and they are always open to learning more. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to kind of act like they know it all, or they're a little more closed off. They may be a little more fearful of change and are a little more combative around admitting the fact that they might not know everything. So try to be open to learning, try to be open to taking in more and new information. Number four is conflict. Conflict happens everywhere. Even in the best run, most amiable organizations, there's eventually some sort of conflict. And how you react to conflict will really make the difference between whether you are successful or unsuccessful. And how you act and exhibit your behavior in conflict situations really will mean a lot in terms of how you will progress and how successful you'll be. Successful people have a tendency to communicate as well as they can and also forgive very quickly and move on. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to hold a grudge, not want to forgive very quickly, and will maintain a combative stance for a longer period of time. So if you want to be successful, you want to make sure that you're quick to forgive and ready to move on. Number five is around knowledge. And I've found that how people deal with knowledge or information is really indicative of whether they're going to be successful or unsuccessful. And successful people have a tendency to be very open, very sharing. They share knowledge and their skills and their abilities with whoever they can. They pay it forward whenever there's an opportunity. And unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to hold information close to their chest. They tend to hoard it in a way. They kind of treat information as aspect of power. And that's really unfortunate. It's unfortunate for you because you're not seen as a caring, giving person. And it's also unfortunate for the people around you because they can't benefit from the knowledge and the information that you have. So how you treat information and how you approach information is going to be really indicative of whether you end up being successful or unsuccessful. Number 6 is recognition. I found that how people deal in recognition situations is a real signpost as to whether they're going to be successful or unsuccessful. People who are successful have a tendency to easily give compliments, and they like building other people up. While unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to be quicker to criticize, or quicker to tear down, or quicker to take more of a negative stance than one of positivity and building people up. And number 7 is kind of on the heels of recognition, and that is how people deal with wins. Successful people, when they're dealing with victories, they tend to share those victories. They help others succeed, and they celebrate those victories. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, have a tendency to, again, like information, they hoard it. They treat it with a sense of like gold or holding it as a sense of power. So they want to take all the credit, and it's harder for them to give credit to others. So how you deal with wins is going to be a real clear signal as to whether you're going to be successful or whether you're going to be unsuccessful. Now, number 8 is a big one. Number 8 is change. This is a really, really clear signal as whether people are going to be successful or unsuccessful, and that is how they deal with change. People who are successful have a tendency to look at change as an opportunity. They look at change as an opportunity to make things better, to grow, to learn, to move to new places. While unsuccessful people have a tendency to fear change. They look at change as something that's going to cause more work, something that's going to cause a sense of disruption, something that's going to kind of upset the status quo. You have to look at change as an opportunity and not something that's a negative. Now, number 9 is communication, and this is something that I see manifest itself a lot in the creative groups that I've managed. How people deal with communication and how they approach communication can be another real signal as to whether someone's going to succeed or fail. People who are successful have a tendency to look at communication and deal and trade in communication around ideas rather than people. And people who are unsuccessful or tend to look at communication as more of an undercurrent. They gossip more. They talk about people more than they talk about ideas. They create triangulation, or that is pitting people against each other or pitting groups against each other. They look at communication as a way to gain power. You have to look at communication as a way to create bridges and share ideas and create energy and innovation and positivity. So how you deal with communication is a real signpost as to whether you're going to be successful or not. And finally is number 10, and that's problems. And in managing creative teams, one of the things that is the most indicative of whether someone's going to be successful or not is how they deal with problems. And I boil this down to 2 different phrases. One is living in the solution, and one is living in the problem. People who are unsuccessful or have a tendency to be failures in life and in business live in the problem. They like to get in and mire themselves in what the problem is and how everything is screwed up and how you can't fix it, and this client's problem, that's a problem, and we can't get this done because of that. That is not going to get you or your team anywhere. Living in the solution is a much more positive, proactive, and innovative and creative way of going about business and life. When I was managing large teams of people, I would always tell my team, I'd say, if you have a problem, come to me with the problem, yes, but also come to me with a proposed solution, because I can't design a solution. I'm not as close to the problem as you are. I don't understand it as well as you do. Understand the problem, but then design a solution and live in the solution and not in the problem, and you will be much more successful. So that's it. I hope you liked this video on the 10 differences between successful and unsuccessful people. And if you did, please hit subscribe below so you can see my videos when they come out, and hit that notifications bell so you can get an email when I post something new or when I go live. And visit me at philipvandusen.com. If you need help with your brand strategy or your brand design or your professional creative career, reach out to me and let's see what we can do to take it to the next level. And with that, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.